Hey everybody, Billy Penn here, the Penalizer with another segment of 300 Guitars TV. And in this segment, I'd like to talk a little bit about intonation details. If you could weigh email, I've been getting a ton of emails about questions on intonation. It seems to be like a trend or something right now, and I've been getting inundated with questions from YouTube, from my blog, and everywhere else about intonation. Questions like, listen, I've set my intonation and the guitar still doesn't play in tune in certain areas of the neck or the whole neck or something like that. I'll address some of these things and bring up some of the points that I've noticed that helped me over the years get my guitars to play in a lot better tune, a lot better intonated. So first thing, what's the intonation? Well, that's setting the distance between the nut, the 12th fret, and the bridge saddle. When you play an open string, let's say open E, and you fret the 12th fret, theoretically it should be a perfect octave. Now, if you've set all your saddles on that to play in tune the octave of the 12th fret, you're not done, because sometimes there's other things that contribute to a guitar that doesn't play in tune intonation. First thing, the dopey thing first, change the strings. Because I've been getting a bunch of emails from people saying, well, the strings are a little old, should I change them? Yes, because let's say this is your guitar string. From fretting over and over and over or bending, you can get like a little groove or a little divot worn in the string. That's going to contribute to the string not playing in tune. So first off, change the strings. And we'll go into a couple things here right now. Let me pull out my little school prop. Now these drawings are not great, so I'm no Michelangelo. Anyway, we're going to start with up here with the frets. Okay, this is your nut. This is your fingerboard. You're looking at the side view of the neck, okay? Nut, fingerboard, there's the 1st fret, 2nd fret, and here's the guitar string, okay? First thing you want is to make sure that the nut is cut to the proper depth. I've seen more than one guitar over the years have a nut that the slots were not cut deep enough, and that was a contributing factor, especially on the lower frets toward the nut. Guitar wasn't playing in very good tune. Like the D chord, that's a real rough one sometimes, would sound real sour, just wasn't right. I like to cut the nut slots when I cut a nut, and how I gauge it is I fret the 2nd fret, and I take a measurement between the top of the 1st fret in the bottom of the string, and that should be somewhere around 0.017 of an inch. That's about the thickness of a G string in a 10 gauge set. It's just like a starting point measurement. Some of the lower strings like a E, A, and D may need a little bit bigger of a gap, and maybe you can get away with a little less of a gap on the E and the B strings and possibly the G string. But that's one of the things you want to look for. Make sure that those nut slots are low enough. Another contributing factor while we're on the subject of the frets here, if you have really tall wire, like 6105 or some of those really big jumbo frets, and you press really hard, that's going to contribute to the guitar not playing so much in tune. Try it on your guitar. Press lightly just to get, like, let's say 3rd fret on the low E string, get a G note. And then really press and try to get this string to touch the fretboard. Really lay into it. And you'll see, it's going to be a little bit sharp. So that's another contributing factor to possibly the guitar not playing in tune. It's not the guitar's fault, it's more like a technique. So be wary of that. Next thing we'll talk about is the condition of the neck. This is an extreme drawing of an underbowed neck. And it's not a very good drawing, so keep those comments to yourself. Anyway, here's your neck in a ridiculously underbowed condition just for the example. Here's the guitar's body. You're looking again at the guitar body and the neck from the side view. This is the top of the guitar. This is the back of the guitar. Here's your headstock with your little tuners here. Here's the guitar string nice and straight. If your neck is underbowed like this great distance, again, just like up here with the nut, this great distance is going to contribute to the guitar not playing in tune. Because you're going to have to press this string this far, and it's going to be a little sharp. Now, each gauge and each varying depth of the nut slot is all going to contribute in here. So this is all like a cumulative effect. It can't be, it's not always, I should say, not always one thing. Oh, Bill, what is it? Oh, it's that. It's not. It could be a lot of these things contributing to a sour sounding guitar, certain areas of the neck or certain chords and so forth. So make sure your neck is adjusted properly. I like to adjust my necks where they're just about straight, dead straight, because I like a fast feeling neck, and that works for me. I don't mind a little bit of buzz, and I can raise the action a little bit to compensate for that. But you have to, kind of get your tech or adjust it yourself to your taste. Anyway, make sure it's adjusted properly so there's not a really great distance. Another, and probably the last thing we're going to talk about, are the frets themselves. Now, when you get fret wire, it comes in like a stalk or it comes on a roll. And basically the shape is a semicircle. Some fret wire it could have like a mushroom shape to it, and some of the larger, like the bass wire or the really big jumbos, is not quite semicircular. It's a little bit more, less of an arc. Anyway, having said that, sometimes in dressing, the frets are dressed and they're flattened on the top. And that can lead to an intonation problem, as well as some other problems, like more string rattle, because look, your string is resting. Let's say this is the guitar string. This string is resting on that flat part of the fret. It has all that surface area to possibly rattle, and it also has all that surface area to drag on when you bend. And if this top of this fret isn't crowned perfectly flat, let's say it's this way one way or this way another, it's going to mess with the intonation, even just being flat, because let's say here's where you want to be, the center of the fret, and look, the actual string is going to stop right here at the edge of that fret, and that's going to throw it out. Yes, it's a very small amount, but it all, the technique, it all starts to add up. So get all of this in order before you say, oh, something's wrong with the guitar or whatever. The way I like to dress my wire is to have like an egg shape, because look, compared to this regular semicircle, compared to the flat, the egg shape, there's such a minimal amount of surface area that the string touches, and it's centered where it should be for proper intonation, playing in tune, and so forth. The other advantage of crowning the wire in an egg shape like that is there's less drag. You get a nice, silky, smooth feel when you bend the strings. So look at your nut depth, nut slot depth up here. Look at the gap. Look at your technique with real high wire. Check the condition of your neck. And you may want to have your frets checked out and see how they're dressed, if they're worn, and so forth. Those are all contributing factors to a good playing and good sounding intonated guitar. It's not always just the nut to the 12th fret, the 12th fret to the bridge saddle. There's these other contributing factors. Anyway, that's it for this segment. If you have any questions, always feel free to email me, fan me up on Facebook, tweet me on Twitter, leave comments on the blog. I love answering questions. If I can help you guys, I'm happy to do it. Keep the questions coming. Maybe we'll hit 2 tons of emails soon. And that's it for this segment. Hope to hear from you soon, and thank you very much for watching another segment of 300 Guitars TV.